guys, how's it going? It's Zahait here, and we're back with a brand new episode of Shapez Industries, guys. And in the last episode, we came over here and we set up all of our default shapes to get them plumbed in to our mega hub. And what I've done since then is I just added a few buffer chests here just to have. I don't think we're gonna need them, but it didn't hurt anything, and we did that. I balanced my belts now so that if I pull a bunch of stuff out of one of them, it'll balance and everything will be good going on down the road. So after every single strip, I've balanced all my belts. Again, probably not really necessary, but I've done it anyway. So then, what we did is we came down here, got these cutters set up, and each one of these stations just produces one corner. So we're identifying what each corner is, we're bringing it down, and we're cutting it into 4. Then I have this, again, a belt balancer so that nothing jams up. Theoretically, if I pull out of just one spot, this should never plug up. And it looks like it's working pretty good. So, I mean, again, I don't think that's necessary because the way I'm planning on setting this up, it shouldn't be an issue, ever. But I want to plan for the worst because I don't want to end up in a situation where this ends up getting jammed at some point. So there's that. Now, what we have to do is get some filters. And how do I want to do this? We're going to check if the first layer and the second layer are smelted together. And if they are, then we're going to have to bring them down and smelt them together. Okay, and if they are, then we're gonna have to bring them down and we're gonna have to smelt them together. So these are both gonna come down. We have to merge them first, which is just a merging factory, which I probably could have just made, but whatever. We've already got this one here. Okay, so we put this down. And actually, I don't need it to be that far down. So let's copy and paste it so that it's not wasting as much space. Okay, that looks better. Now, instead of going into a belt and then going somewhere to get smelted, I think we're just gonna straight up smelt it right out of here. But these smelters only do 0.8 items a second, which means I'm going to need 2 more of those. I need 10 of them, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah. So then this system should work perfectly once I connect those and put that there. Okay. So that should be our smelting machine. If they're smelted, whoop. I need the other direction, please. If they're smelted, they're going to come down here, get merged together, and then get smelted together and sent back up. And I want to send them back up to not the first layer, but the second layer, because then as we go down, we're gonna check if the second layer and the third layer are smelted together. Yeah, that's gonna be good. So we're gonna send this up like this, and then right at that point is where we're gonna merge it back together. Okay. And then that is basically the first part of our factory. Now we're going to need... Whoa. We're going to need... Well, that's only for one, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 of those per check, and we're going to do 4 checks So we're gonna need 12 of these factories. But before we go any farther, I need to figure out how the logistics is gonna work. So we're gonna bring down this unstack. Yeah. We're gonna bring down this line. And then to check if it's smelted or not, this is gonna get kind of complicated, I think. Because maybe I'll do it up in this space if it'll fit. So what we gotta do is take this shape, and to check if the first and the second one are merged, means I have to take that shape, cut it in half. So then now I want to check if these two are, oh, I gotta rotate it first, I think. Okay, so now I'm gonna check if these two are linked together. So I have these two here coming out. If I spin it again and cut it again, and then merge those together. Oh man, I don't know if this is right. And then merge those together. That is definitely not where that's supposed to go. Okay, like that. Merge these together. Then if this shape equals this one, I should rotate that one more time. Rotate. Is it one more time? No, I need to rotate this one. So if these two shapes are equal to each other, where am I gonna put this? Oh man, this is a mess. So if these two shapes are equal to each other, then I know that this shape is not smelted. Okay, get out of here. Go on, shoot. So then I know that 1 and 2 are not linked together. So I do not want them to go through here. Which means that, yeah, perfect. Which just means that those should both just get bypassed and not get smelted. Okay, so then I gotta copy this 3 more times, and we're going to have to leave a space so the mergers and the joiners don't, and the splitters don't get stuck together, which is fine. How do I want to do this? Yeah, that's right. We'll put those there like that. This is gonna go up to there, up to there, up to there somewhere. Okay, so just like that. Then we're going to merge those shapes together. Now I'm gonna need another filter, and this one's going to go here and here, here and here, and then the last one of each of these shapes there and there. All of this should just get carried right through. And then obviously we're going to need to put these things down. Okay. And then the only thing that we have to do is connect the same wire to all of these, because they're all going to be running off the same signal. If 1 and 3 are connected, then I want all of these to do the same thing. Okay, so there. Now, if those two shapes are smelted together, I think that will work. Then they'll come down here and they'll do it. So what I guess I should do is maybe just feed in my own signal just to check it. Constant signal. Oh God, how do I even check this now? Okay, so now I've set that just to be a fully smelted shape, just because then it should work. What's going on here? Okay. All right. So one of them's working. Oh, I haven't got all the funnels set up yet. That's what's happening. Darn. That's why we test. Okay, there. Perfect. So we're taking all of these shapes, we're sticking them together and we're merging them because we've checked up here to make sure that these two are linked together, and sure enough, they are in our made up shape, obviously, this one that we just made up. And because they're getting linked together and sent back up to the second belt. Okay, that's perfect. That's actually really good. So then what we want to do is carry all of this over. I've copied that whole system over one. Now what we have to do is check if the second and third quadrant are connected to each other. So to do that, I think we take this same signal that we're taking here. Whoops. We take this same signal, we bring it over to where we actually need it. Okay. Now I'm going to basically do what we did over here, except I think some of this stuff's gonna change, but let me just copy this for now. Because that's gonna still check the same quadrant, but we don't want to. So I think what we want to do, let me disconnect that for a second and put this back in. It's easier for me to figure out what's going on. Okay, so now we're trying to check this side, which is just this side, which means we have to take this and cut it. Rotate it first, then cut it, get rid of this, get rid of this. Now if we can merge that back together like this, and if that equals this, then we have confirmed it is not a smelted shape. So that equals that means it is not a smelted shape, which means it does not have to go down into the spot, and it can just bypass. Oh, I wasn't supposed to make it equal to that side. I was supposed to make it equal to this side. Hang on. I'm gonna have to rotate this first. Rotate. Then, come on. Then send it up and send it in there. Okay, that should fix it. Okay, so now we know that those two aren't smelted together, but if I come back in here and I say, just kidding, you are smelted together, then it should start sending those pieces down here, which it is, sending them back up here, and they should be smelted together, which they are. for the most part. I'm not sure what happened with that one. I must have had some miscellaneous shapes kind of stuck in there. Okay, then we're gonna send this back up and put it into the lane that we took it out of. Like that. There we go. Ta-da! So that should be working. If I clean out all of this, it should be giving us 3/4 smelted shapes, which it is. Amazing. There's still some wacky shapes in there every once in a while. I'm not sure why that's happening. It might have just been some leftover pieces that were in there. It shouldn't be happening anymore. Yeah, it looks like it's mostly cleaned up. There's just the odd one every once in a while. Okay, we fixed it. So now all I gotta do is copy that one more time and check to see if the bottom 2 layers are smelted together. And then if they are, then we're gonna melt them together. And then we have to do it one more time and just check 1 and 4, because right now we're checking every combination except for this line and this line. So I basically need to copy this whole thing one more time, like this, and then connect all the wires. Alright guys, so I think we've got the smelting thing set up. I did run into a little bit of an issue with the way I was doing this, and if I had a full smelted shape, if the whole shape was smelted like this one here, then it would smelt the first and the second layer, it would smelt the second and the third layer, it would smelt the third and the fourth layer, and then it would try to smelt the first and the fourth layer, but there was no first layer anymore, because the way this system goes, the first layer gets smelted with the second, and then they get pushed up into the second layer, and there was no first layer. And when there's no first layer, then I'm pulling the shape out of here, these full shapes, I'm pulling them down, but there's nothing for them to combine with. So that is a little tiny bit of a problem, but we fixed it now. Let me just show you what I did. We fixed it now. I basically just took these wires, one from each of them, put it in an AND gate to make sure that this one and this one are on. If they both are, then send a signal, then combine that signal with the third one. If these are both on, send a signal. I'm checking to make sure that none of them are on, so just the opposite, not. And then putting an OR gate here. So this thing is telling it to send it past the smelter if this is a 1, which means it's not a smelted shape, or this is a 1, which means everything else has already been smelted, so it's just gonna pass. So either one of those signals is gonna send it right past, and it's gone on its merry old way. Okay, let's get rid of these before it becomes a problem later. Looks good, looks good. I should maybe get a buffer down there to delete some of these, because it seems like I've got stuff piling up in a lot of them. I'm not sure how to fix that. I guess at the end, I could put a little funnel. And if it's the right shape, keep it. And if it's not, send it to garbage. I mean, that's not the worst idea. It's just more wiring that I'm gonna need. I don't know. Maybe we'll leave it for now. We can clean it up later if it becomes a huge issue, but for now, I think it's fine. There is our smelting check. Basically, it will check to see if the shapes are smelted together, and if they are, it will smelt them together. Now, why do I not have any shapes here? Of course. Funnels. I put this belt in the wrong spot. In fact, I put this one in the wrong spot too. What the heck am I doing? There we go. So now if I come over here and I hit this checkbox, it's gonna take a little time for it to figure itself out, but it should start making me fully smelted shapes and sending them all up into these 4 belts right here. It seems to be working so far. Let's just double check and make sure. Okay, so these ones are turning into the doubles, which is what we want. Why are they getting rotated? How is that happening? Oh, they're not. I just was... Yeah, okay. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're making the triple shapes now. Okay, there you should be coming down here and mixing with that, and we should be sending up the 4-piece shapes. Again, it takes a while for the whole system to get primed. That's why we're seeing funky shapes. But it does work eventually. There they are. Oh, that is perfect. Okay. And now as the system starts to build up, we should start to see 4 full belts of fully smelted shapes coming through here. And they're not going down here and plugging up our smelter system. Oh, yes. Look at it. It's beautiful. There's probably ways to speed this up. Like I could have put half of this probably up here just so that they're not traveling so far, but whatever. This is my first attempt at a MAM. It's gonna be crude. As long as it works, I am going to be super happy with that. So all right guys, it looks like we're finally producing 4 full belts of the shape that we're looking for, so that is great. Our system's working. It's not working super quickly, but I think that's just something about MAMs. I mean, they take a while for the shapes to get through. I'm not sure how to speed it up that much more right at this moment. I guess I could extend these. I guess I could extend that so that these shapes aren't having to travel on this belt so far. But I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. So anyway, at the end here, I think what I want to do is get rid of these and then put in more belt balancers just to make sure that when we go to painting, we are painting everything evenly. So that should be good. Ba-ba-ba-bam, ba-bam. There we go. So now what we have to do is send this down to painting. I'm not sure where painting is going to be yet. Oh man, perhaps painting can happen down here. We can send the shapes down this way. How do I want to do this actually? Because I think I want the paint to run across, because we're going to need to access it for layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and layer 4. Unless I just run the paint right through here. And then we bring these shapes down and around like we did here. The funnels only work in one direction, so you pretty much always have to build your factories down or to the right. There's no... Well, down and to the right or up and to the left. Whichever way you want to go, but you have to be consistent. And I started going right and down, so I pretty much always have to go right and down if I want to keep these funnels doing their thing. Or the filters, I guess I should call them. So I think what I need to do then is get some more of these belts, come around and down, bring it down into here, and then we can start maybe making a paint mixing factory somewhere. I don't know, somewhere. We need to do it. And then send a super belt like this full of paint. The question is, should I be making little miniature mixing factories? That might be better, because then I can just run the primary colors through, and then at each of the painting stations we can mix as we need, maybe. I don't know. Could be tricky. But anyway, I think we're going to try and figure that out in the next episode. So guys, I hope you're liking the series so far. If you are, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and I'll see you next time.